Hi there guys, it's Authentic here. Today I've got a Fire Night video for you guys. Now this is a team that a lot of people do run, but they say they get 3%ed or they are very inconsistent, or this team is very inconsistent. So today I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks on how to make your team more consistent and what helps with win rate in this team. So let's jump right into it. So here is everybody's favorite team. As soon as everybody gets Lydia and Sia, this is the team they smash together and they say, well, this is going to be my Fire Night team. They put some decent stats on the champions. They make crit caps and they do crit damages and they do speeds, but if you don't tune this team properly, you do get a really low win rate. Some people have it 85%, some people said 90%, some people say 92, 94%, but I'm happy with it. But this team is as close to 100% as you can get without a Ghostborn. So I've been running this team, I've run a lot of fights with this. I would say close to 1,000 fights, and it doesn't have less than a 99% win rate. There are some scenarios where you can get extremely unlucky. The decreased defense and weakened fails on the first wave. The second wave, you just get stunned by what's his name, Nethril, and all of your team just gets wiped. But if you run your team like this and you run these stats on your teams, I assure you your win rate will be in the 98% or above. I was testing out a few things with this team. I was trying to capture a run where we actually get a bad run if I was running low accuracy on Lydia. So I was running her at 232. I don't recommend running her anything lower than 300 accuracy, because if you want a true 3% chance of being resisted, which is the highest you can get, you want to be building your champion for around about 300 accuracy. So this is the banner she had on, this one I believe. Yes, this is the banner we had on her. So 277 speed. She doesn't need to be this fast. The speed I would recommend is 250 speed for her, 300 accuracy. If you can get crit cap, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. Her survivability stats are pretty good anyway, so you don't have to worry about keeping her alive. As long as you get these stats, this 250 speed and 300 accuracy, the other stats will just fall in place. A decent amount of HP, decent amount of defense, and if you can crit cap, that's always going to help killing anything that doesn't get decreased defense and weakened. So that's Lydia. The second most important champion I would say to build, and people probably miss out, is Royal Guard. Now people do build him with the right amount of crit rate. Mine's 100% crit rate, but that's for Hydra. But you can build him for 85% crit rate if you're only using him in Fire Night. The speed 250 is on the high end. I would recommend anywhere between 230 and 250. It's very good speed. A decent amount of HP, so you want to run about 40k HP and 2k defense. If you can't do that much, maybe drop to 35k HP, but the main thing is that his HP needs to be higher than Sia's HP and Renegade's HP. Same for Allure. You want Allure and Royal Guard to have more HP than Sia and Renegade, because as long as your Renegade, Lydia, as long as your Royal Guard, Lydia and Allure stay alive, you can basically solo the boss with these three champions, or trio the boss with these three champions. The accuracy is a very important thing that people do miss out. If you're running a Royal Guard in dungeons, or especially in Fire Night, you want to build him with at least 220 accuracy. So even if you do get unlucky on the waves, the decreased speed acts as a CC for you, so you can just get enough turns and kill off any adds that stay behind. Allure, I would say she wants to be 290 speed, 305. Obviously, again, my stats a bit higher than you actually need them to be. You want her to be around about 290. I wouldn't drop too low, below 290. 85% crit rate is spot on, and HP is 41k. You'll see my Renegade and my Sia are more like 37k ish. We have Sia, she's a lot of crit damage, 304 crit damage. You don't need this much high crit damage, but if you can get it, great. I would probably recommend the slow speed is fine. You want her to be slow because you don't want her taking too many turns. So low speed is fine, 170, 180 is fine. You don't want her too fast because then she takes too many turns. 290 crit damage is where I would say you're safe for running on Sia. You don't want to drop too far below 285 crit damage. Accuracy doesn't matter too much. HP really isn't relevant for her. You actually want her to be lowest HP, so try to avoid building HP on all of the slots. We have this ring, maybe we're using this ring. It has some HP on it and it goes to 40k. Pretty high HP. What about this ring? This is good. It only gives another 1.5k HP, so we go ahead and put this on. So we just add this ring. She now goes to 39,000 HP, which is okay. As long as she's below Allure and Royal Guard, that HP is good. You basically don't want the single target Rasks to be targeting your Allure or your Royal Guard. Allure and Royal Guard are strong affinity to the waves, so the likelihood of them getting targeted is actually quite low in the first place, which is a good thing. But if you can help it by building lower HP, I would recommend that too. And then we have Renegade. We have her in a shield set and some damage. So you do want one shield set champion. So have her in shield set and a bit of damage just to help with the damage. So have a lot of crit damage on her. You do want accuracy on her. So what I would recommend for her is 180-ish, 185 speed is all you need. HP doesn't really matter too much. Defense, attack is good for damage. 100% crit rate. You want some crit damage on her, and accuracy is the most important thing. You do want decreased speed on the boss, even though Royal Guard does do it. But it's nice to have a second champion who can do it for a short amount of time. Even it's good on the waves too. If you do land decreased speed on the waves, it just gives you more survivability in getting through that wave. So let's go and give this team a run and see how it goes. I'll show you the presets of this team too. The presets are also very important, especially if you're gonna replicate the speed tune or how these teams take turns. It's really important the way it's set up. So we have the one shot going through the first wave. We didn't get decreased defense or weaken resisted, so we just one shot everything. And then here we have Lydia doing the decreased defense and weaken again. And then we have one champion that resisted decreased defense on the far right. He survived, but because we have enough damage, we actually end up just killing him anyway. We have the 3 hits, then we have the 2 hits from Lydia. We have 4 hits from Royal Guard. We'll get 1 hit because she used her decreased speed ability on the last wave, and we're into the cycle again. Now this team is very consistent. The speed for a perfect run for this team is around about 1 minute and 15 seconds to 1 minute and 25 seconds. If things do go badly, the run can take sometimes 2 minutes. If some of your champions die, or your Seer dies, or your Renegade dies, then it does slow down a little bit, but it's not a inconsistent team by any means. I would call this team 100%. I do have a lot of runs with this team, but because of the nature of the second wave, you have a stun, and Nethril doesn't exactly have 100% stun. He does have, I believe it's a 50% chance to land a stun. If he doesn't land a stun, he lands a decreased speed. So it is hard to give it 100% guaranteed proof that it's going to be getting through every single fight. You will get really unlucky sometimes, but it is in the high 90s. So I'll run this team once more before I show you the presets, hoping we can get a resist. We actually landed a resist on one of the front champions, this guy. So now that we have enough damage, we'll be able to get through. I'm kind of hoping that we don't kill him and see a... Oh, perfect. This is perfect. Sia didn't really do her Karma Burn. I would have liked to have seen the Karma Burn there, but she will do the Karma Burn on this wave. So this is a really good test. I've not been able to replicate this. I was recording a few runs and I was trying to see if I can actually get this scenario set up, but I couldn't. But on this run, it seems to have done it. So on this, now we want to see the increased speed. We have the decreased defense and weaken. We're trying to control the Nethril in the middle. Now I'm not gonna take over or do anything. I'm just gonna let this run go through and see how it goes. So we're not being able to control Nethril. He's not stunned anybody. Few pointers. Renegade's gone down. Your Allure and your Royal Guard is strong affinity. So even if he does have the chance to stun, he still has the chance to weak it and not land any debuffs. So there we lost Renegade. We could have even lost Sia and we would have still been okay with this team. As you can see, Sia didn't do any hits on the wave. We get the increased speed, we get the A1, then we get the time to reduction, and we're just basically good. Increased speed and Allure is basically all you need. If you've built for 250-ish plus speed, 280, 285 plus speed, you'll be able to get through this way, through the boss with just these 3. You'll have Royal Guard's damage, you have War Masters, you'll have Giant Slayers, and all that good stuff. So I'm really happy that we've managed to actually get this inconsistent, or scuffed as they call it, the scuffed run. It's nice to see, or it's nice to prove the fact that even though this team can get resisted and sometimes things can go bad on the first wave, this team is, if it's built with these stats and is built in the way I've just showed you, even being resistant on the first wave will not be an issue for you. Let me show you the presets just before we finish off. The presets are really important too. I want to highlight one point is the Renegade preset. You want to open with Lingering Pain. She is in the Blood Shield, so whenever she opens with the attack, she gets a Blood Shield, more buffs for Sia for damage. And Sia is 173 speed, so she'll get 18 more speed, and she'll be, because she's higher up in the order, the same amount of speed would mean that she would actually go before Renegade on the second wave. So Renegade will do one hit on the first wave, she'll do one turn on the second wave, meaning that Lash Out would always be available when you get to the boss. You have Sia, who would prioritize Karma Burn. Royal Guard, you don't need any presets, pretty smart AI, doesn't waste his takedown if there's no decreased defense out there, so it's really good, you can leave him how it is. Lydia's AI is perfectly fine for this, you don't need to change anything. With Allure, this is what I like to do. I like to open with Temptation for some AoE damage, and after that I just turn both of these abilities off and just take Psychic Whip for the decreased turn meter. And that's basically it for all the presets. This is the team I would recommend you build if you don't have a Ghostborn, if you have these champions. It's really high win rate, it's a very consistent team. There is a version of the team where you can run Archmage instead of Royal Guard, or some people even try Ninja instead of Royal Guard, but I believe if you can run these stats, this team is the fastest and the most consistent out there. So let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.